Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with the free pick in the Knicks versus Heat NBA matchup on Friday, November 24th, 2023. Of course, I do tons of free picks every day, and when you give out that many free picks, you're bound to like some games more than others. Those are the ones I put under the Premium Picks tab at Pickdawgz.com. Use the discount code PICK for 15% off. We also have Dime Club and Sharp trading plays meant for larger bettors, and the only way to get those is to text the number you see on the screen. So if you bet big, text that number. But let's get to this one. We've got the Knicks taking on the Heat. Of course, this one is somewhat of a rivalry game. These teams, they know each other extremely well, and both these teams, well, they know in the Eastern Conference that more than likely they're going to have to battle each other in a lot of meaningful games this season. While it's November and it doesn't seem like it might be a meaningful time of the year, well, when these two teams meet, it usually is meaningful. The Knicks, have kind of had their shares of ups and downs already this season. Just 3-2 so far at the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, and 3-1-1 against the number. While the Heat, 10-5 on the season, they started extremely slow, but they've been putting it together, ever since that slow start, and have been one of the best teams in the NBA. It doesn't mean they've been covering spreads as a favorite all the way along, but they actually have been a lot better cover team than they were a year ago. The Heat are 9-1 though, straight up in their last 10 games. When we look at, historically, the Heat have won 3 of the last 4 meetings with the Knicks, including last year in the playoffs when they beat them 4-2. The thing is that the Heat certainly, they seem to get up for the games against in these type of spots, while, other times against the lighter teams, they seem to struggle. And I think that's where people get confused on the Heat, or they seem to fall out of favor with the Heat because they'll lose, when they've played against a bad team, and then all of a sudden they'll stand up against a good team and they won't know what happened. And that's what happened like last year in the playoffs against the Bucks and the Celtics when the Heat wiped the floor with those teams. And, we collected huge payouts on money lines in those series. The Knicks defense has been solid on the interior. At guarding the perimeter, not really all that great. And I think, with the Heat, what you're going to get is, it depends who's in the lineup, but generally one of the best three-point shooting teams in the league, shooting almost 40% from beyond the arc. When we look at the on the defensive side of things, we know that the Miami Heat, how do you make it to 2 finals in the last 4 years? It's by playing defense, and that is exactly what they do. But they don't guard the perimeter all that well, so I'd expect to see the Knicks popping shots up from the outside. This is going to be probably a pretty good game at Madison Square Garden. I'm expecting it to be a physical one and somewhat of a war. Generally, in a lot of these videos, I usually try and avoid giving out a total, so I'm going to avoid doing that here. It seems that most people that watch the videos prefer to have a side than a total. I'll give out a few totals like here and there, but I'd rather reach on a side. And I think in this one, I'll just take the Heat plus the points because I think it's going to be a closer game. I think it's more of a coin flip game, so having those points in the back pocket, not a bad place to be. I'll take the Heat plus the points, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks, check out our betting tools at sportschatplace.com. The betting tools 100% free, and the way they work, they tell you how often historically all the bets on the board have hit. Then they show you today's odds, and then pair those together to put you on the most favorable bets today.